Sanders' family joined forces for Shedeur Sanders' debut after Brown's rookie got Tom Brady's jersey number. Shedeur Sanders' draft slide is still the talk of the town. It's been nearly 2 weeks since the Colorado QB landed with the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round, but people just can't stop buzzing about how he dropped that far. Some say it was the talent pool, others hint at off-field stuff. One anonymous exec even told USA Today, "I think his dad's involvement hurt him. Some of the things his dad said, I think, that weighed on people's minds." Fair or not, that speculation hasn't let up, but if you ask the Sanders family, none of that matters right now. They're in full celebration mode because their guy is officially in the league. And the love and support from Shedeur's siblings have been pouring in, especially after they witnessed his first locker room moment with the Browns. On Thursday, the Browns posted a reel on their official social handles, showing Shedeur Sanders and other rookies arriving for their equipment fittings. His brother Dion Jr. and mom Pilar couldn't help but chime in as the QB was checking out his new space. Mom Pilar jumped in with the sweetest message for her son, dropping a "Go baby" comment on the post. Dion Jr. added, "It's a beautiful thing." And how could Dad Dion stay quiet during one of the biggest moments in his son's life? Coach Prime made sure to leave a heartfelt message on the post, writing, "God is faithful. I know for a fact that smile is genuine." Let's go number 12, adding a couple of laughing emojis. Shedeur Sanders looked calm, collected, and happy as he stepped into the room, carrying a sleek designer duffel bag filled with official Browns gear and a team-branded notebook. The 23-year-old could be seen excitedly placing his custom Browns-colored Nike kicks on the shelf before reaching for his bright orange practice jersey. As he pulled it out, someone nearby commented, "That orange is clean." As the Sanders family showed their support for Shedeur, something else caught everyone's attention. And no, it wasn't the fresh orange gear or the designer bag this time. It was the number on that jersey, Shedeur Sanders to wear the same number as Patriots legend. Shedeur waited until the last day to hear his name called during the draft. As the Colorado alum sat and watched team after team pass on him, he got a message from someone who had once been in the same position over 2 decades ago. Interestingly, Shedeur will be wearing the same jersey number as that man. And the person in question? None other than Patriots legend and 7-time Super Bowl champion, Tom Brady. I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well, and I said, "Dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft," Brady said during his appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive. Brady was drafted in the 6th round, 199th overall, by the Patriots, a spot that's now famously etched into NFL history. I was 199. So, who can speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it, added the former QB. Brady told the rookie QB that, at the end of the day, it all comes down to how you perform. He mentioned a few players who weren't high picks, but turned out to be phenomenal players. Rodney Harrison wasn't a high pick. Julian Edelman wasn't a high pick. Wes Welker wasn't a high pick. Danny Amendola. All those guys were phenomenal players. Well, when you hear words like those from a 7x Super Bowl champion, it hits home. And it looks like every word Brady said made an impact on Sanders. Maybe that's when Shedeur decided to wear the same jersey number as the legend himself. Now, after choosing his jersey number, whether Sanders will be as successful as Brady as a QB remains to be seen. Only time will tell if he can live up to that same legacy. Coach Prime admits struggle letting go of Shedeur as Sanders' family gets emotional over his Browns debut. Shedeur Sanders wrapped up his tiring 4,000+ yard season, packed his bags, and landed with the Cleveland Browns in the NFL. But the whole process wasn't this straightforward, right? We saw his draft falter, fall, and eventually drown as he was finally selected in the 5th round as the 144th pick. But does all of this matter now? No. The former Buffs number 2 has moved on from that setback and has been preparing for the journey ahead, and it's looking pretty exciting. Quite recently, we saw the former Buffs QB practicing with the legendary Tom Brady, and in an interview, the GOAT even urged Shedeur to move past the setback and presented his example. Well, Brady is undoubtedly a leading example for Shedeur, as he himself was drafted as the 199th pick. And the rest, they say, is history. So, learning from the best and getting motivated by him, Shedeur seems all geared up to make the Browns QB1 spot his possession, eventually. And it all starts in the locker room. In a recent video posted by the Cleveland Browns official IG account, Shedeur could be seen unveiling his locker in the Browns locker room. You would expect that it's just for showing. But seeing the QB with a beaming smile on his face and excitement in his eyes, well, you would just guess that Shedeur now has a chip on his shoulder. The QB, while showcasing his shoes, his jerseys, and a notebook with Browns colors, says, "Here I got everything I need to be successful." The video is heartwarming and makes you think about the resilience that Shedeur is showing in the face of every adversity. But he also has some support. Even when he is almost 1,350 miles away from Boulder, his dad, Deion Sanders, even when he isn't with him in Cleveland, sent a heartfelt comment for him reacting to his locker video. "God is faithful. I know for a fact that smile is genuine." Let's go number 12. Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. But this wasn't it, as his brother Deion Jr. also reacted and motivated Shedeur and wrote, "It's a beautiful thing." On the other hand, his mother, Pilar Sanders, summarized her message in just two adorable words: "Go baby." All of these messages were heartfelt and inspiring, but his dad's message was particularly interesting and seemingly filled with emotions. Notice how Coach Prime first mentioned Shedeur's jersey number being 2 and later corrected it to be 12, as Shedeur showcased the number 12 Sanders jersey in the video. The mistake wasn't deliberate on Coach Prime's part, who must have been feeling a roller coaster of emotions since Shedeur got away from him. After all, the player was with him at Jackson State, and he was still with him when Deion came to Colorado. So, in a sense, Coach Prime wasn't only his father but also his mentor, coach, and a whole ecosystem of support. Losing that would make anyone emotional, right? Shedeur Sanders' jersey snub brews fresh controversy. Shedeur might be starting to enjoy his time in Cleveland, but the disrespect murmurs aren't dying down. If getting drafted at the 144th pick wasn't disrespect enough, it seems now that the new number 12 jersey that has been awarded has created a buzz of its own, as Shedeur wasn't given his choice number 2 jersey in Cleveland, which he wore both at Colorado. At the center of the controversy, Boogie Knight, a close member of Sanders' media team. In the now-deleted IG story, he wrote and berated Browns for disrespecting Shedeur. "There's no way Cleveland Browns should have gave number 2 to anyone else, especially to a WR who haven't worn number 2 before in his career. But we knew that was coming, so we ain't flinching about it. It was expected. Take it, smile, then make it legendary. Keep going." But who got the number 2 at Browns? Well, the number 2 jersey was awarded to DeAndre Carter, a newcomer who recently arrived after a one-year stint with the Chicago Bears. Carter landing with the number 2 jersey might be due to his seniority in the roster, although the Browns later released a statement that said the jerseys were subject to change before the season. The Browns' message seems simple. Want that number 2 jersey? Show us why you deserve that.